All right. Greetings to all. It is Max, and we are back. I'm trying to see if my microphone works, so pardon me while I burst into flames. We'll just see. It doesn't say so on my channel yet. All right. It's working. So everything is working. I'm sorry about, the last live stream. My microphone does not work because I've been doing music stuff and it's all complicated. I do these spur of the moment, and why do I do these in the middle of the night? Because I've been working overnights for 7 months. Okay. This is when I'm up. I also have some family troubles and stuff going on. But that's not really important to you guys. Cool. I am looking to go to a different platform, but for right now, this is what I have. And this is something that's important to talk about. And I don't think actually somebody pushed my button, and that I don't think I actually have any sort of discussion about the book of Habakkuk. I might have 3 or 4 years ago, but I don't remember it. So all I'm going to do is actually just talk about it. Just going to talk about it. Pardon me while I figure out where my live stream is. Here it is. And there's probably, nobody watching. It's 2:30 Central Time, and that's fine. I think I will leave this one up, which is not a characteristic of me for the last couple of months, because we're actually doing a Bible study. And we're actually talking about what God thinks and what people think, and the juxtaposition of those ideas and ideals. And this was brought up by Jesse, who runs a blog post, Rational Christian Discernment, and I put the link in the chat, about saved by faith, and he brought up Habakkuk, and I'm like, saved by faith and Habakkuk? What? See, this is how we grow. This is how we learn from one another. I never even considered it. Everyone has their talking points, well, the Romans road. John 1:1, 1 Corinthians 1:15, 1-5. Everyone has their talking points. And it's like, there's more of the Bible than that. There's more in the Bible than talking points. So I want to read. All I'm going to do is just read the book. Okay, it's only 2 chapters or something like that. That's all I'm going to do. And Nick, my favorite person. My sound is working. Thank you. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through this, and I'm going to give a little bit of commentary, but because I have not studied the book that much, I'm not going to have deep insights to it. So here we go. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. So he was a prophet. The Bible tells you he was a prophet. It's not just some random guy. O Lord, how long shall I cry? And you, I'm going to translate to a little bit. It says, thou wilt not hear. I will translate that to you, and that's just the way I'm going to do it. So you can understand, people can understand better who are not familiar with the Bible. All right. How long do I cry and you will not hear? Exclamation point. You won't hear me. Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou will not save. There's all this crap going on, and you're not doing anything. God, you just laying there in your hands, man. What's going on? What's going on, God? Why? I'm going to translate it, okay? Why do you show me iniquity and cause me to behold my grievance? Meaning, why do you make me want to hate you? That's what it means. Why do you make me want to hate you? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that rise up strife and contention. Like, why aren't you helping me out with my own BS? Why aren't you helping me out? There's all this crap going on. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you, God? This is going on in like thousands of years ago. You think you have it bad. You're not Habakkuk buck guy. He's in the same position, and he was a prophet. Behold, you among the heathen in regard, and wonder marvelously, for I will work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told to you. That was the response. Well, I suppose I skipped about like 2 or 3 verses, but okay. I'm going to go back and go do that so we have the whole juxtaposition. Verse 4, therefore the law is slacked, and the judgment doth never go forth. The law is slacked, and the judgment never go forth. Do you think that's the thing now? Where if you're in the government, there is no judgment, even though they did crimes. You know, people in the government do crimes, but they're never, ever, ever prosecuted. Huh. For the wicked does compass about the righteous. Therefore, the wrong judgment proceedeth. I don't understand that. The wrong judgment. I don't know. Behold ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work in your days which ye will not believe, though it be told to you. So Habakkuk is pissed. He's not seeing God work in his life because of all these other people. And Habakkuk's problem is that he's concerned about other people, and you shouldn't be, because they're NPCs. You shouldn't be. That's his problem. But he wants to save them and wants to do good by them and wants to do all these things, but they have their own free will. They have their own agenda. They have their own stuff. They have their own crap. And it's, you know, it sucks to be like that. For lo, I raised up the Chaldeans, which I know nothing about. Bitter and hasty nation, which shall march through the breath, the land to the dwelling process, not theirs. I don't know anything about the Chaldeans. Don't know what they're doing. They are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall precede themselves. Their horses also are swifter than the leopards, and are more fierce than evening wolves. Their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hastens to east. That's pretty much America right there, as far as prophecy goes. That is America. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind. They shall gather their captivity in the sand, and they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be scorned unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. This particular line right here, this particular line, what did America do to the Russian oligarchs? Okay. What do they? America turned off their money and confiscated all their stuff, threw them in prison. Those are people who are put in places because of who they are, and God put them there, and they keep the dust, which is fiat money. Okay. It's a literal parallel to what happens in Russia right now. Is like America thinks they're going to, take over the world or something like that. And they literally screwed over the princes and the powers of principality and the dust of their fiat money, and everyone's moving away from it, which is a good thing. Okay. But that's how I see it. It may not be how you see it. I'm going into this fairly cold because I've read Habakkuk like 30 or 40 times, but it's like a 2-chapter book. You just got to read through it. I'm going to read verse 10 again, and then go continue on so we can have this discussion. And they shall scoff at kings, and the princes shall scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. Then shall his mind change, and he shall pass over and defend, imputing his power unto his God. It's a lowercase g. So we know her fighting in what we're talking about. World. This is the world. Habakkuk is pissed because he thinks that God should be on earth right now and everything should be perfect. He's being emotional and a little bitch. My personal opinion. And everybody is guilty of that. I can't claim any sort of supremacy over that. No, I'm a little bitch too. I'm a little bitch all the time. But you have to understand that this world here is run by Satan. Okay. Just how it is. And you can't, obviously everyone has trials and tribulations and emotions and all that stuff, but you can't park your like fortune can't be parked in the world. Can't be. Oh man, verse 12. Art thou not from everlasting, O Lord my God, O Holy One? We shall not die. Uh-oh. In Habakkuk, he says that it's saved by faith alone. Uh-oh. O Lord, thou hast ordained them for judgment, and, Almighty God, thou hast established them for correction. And it's a little bit more than a correction, according to the Bible. Yeah. Thou art of purer eyes than to behold the evil, and cannot look. I'm sorry, when I'm reading this, I'm translating it in my mind, but I have it on the screen, but I am going to read the words as I read them. I don't want to, make a mockery of God or anything like that. You are of purer eyes than to behold evil. I can't look in iniquity. Therefore, look upon them that deal treacherously. The guy is pissed. And hold thy tongue when the wicked, he's questioning him. It's a question mark at the end. Thou art of pure eyes than to behold evil, and can look upon it. He's like, God, you're not doing anything about anything. Why do I even worship you? That's the freaking question. That's the question. Habakkuk is having. As you notice at the end of it, he's got a question mark. He's accusing God and challenging God. I'll read it so I can go on to the next verse. Verse 13, thou art purer eyes than to behold the evil and can look into iniquity. Therefore, basically saying, why don't you just strike him down? Because the time isn't yet. I mean, why doesn't God strike people down? That's a very good discussion. It's because people have free will. Jesus Christ died for everybody, even these evil assholes, if they come to Christ. They died for everybody. Jeez, I don't know. My baseball bat's downstairs. Otherwise, I go grab it and just go start knocking stuff around. Jesus Christ died and paid the sins for every man, woman, child on the planet. All you have to do is believe in Jesus Christ and understand who he is. Oh, I have an and in there. I have an and in there. Well, if you don't understand who Jesus Christ is, then you cannot be saved. You can't. Plain and simple. And this is back thousands of years ago. And looking through history and understanding what I know, nothing has literally changed in thousands of years. Nothing has changed. Your only security is in Jesus Christ. That's it. And I talk about Bitcoin as your security. Well, that's worldly shit. Yes. If you want to be secure in the world, that's what you need to do for investments. But there's more important things beyond that. But it's also important to be comfortable in the world. I don't want people to suffer. I don't want people, to be messed over. I don't want all that stuff. So I'm going to deal with the world too. But the point being is that your eternal salvation is way more important. It ain't crap. You are of pure eyes than to behold evil. I can't look on iniquity, wherefore lookest upon them that deal treacherously. And hold thy tongue when the wicked devoureth the man that's more righteous than he. We've already talked about this, but I'm going to keep talking about this. Is like, how can you let these people do all these evil things? And it's because he loves them. Do you understand? It's because God loves those people. And he hopes they come to Christ. He hopes. God already probably knows whether or not they will. But they have their own free will, and they can do what they want to. They can choose salvation, or they can choose destruction. and make us men as the fishes of the sea. Oh, reference forwarding to who is the fisherman? And the creeping things that have no ruler over them. They take up all with them with the angle. They catch their net and gather them and drag. Therefore rejoice, and they are glad. The guy is pissed. Habakkuk is pissed. Therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag, because by them their portion is fat and their meat is plenteous. Okay, breaking this down, because of by them, their own work. And what is their work? What Habakkuk is describing is their work is actually screwing people over. You're talking about the Federal Reserve. You're talking about major banks. You're talking about all this stuff, that their entire work is basically screwing people over. Habakkuk sees this and he's like, he's pissed. He's pissed at God. He's pissed. How could you let this happen? God didn't let it happen. He allowed you to let it happen. That's the truth. Habakkuk does not understand this. It's not God's doing, it's people's doing. God gave everybody the tools and the mindset to actually go out and go do what they want to do. You have free will. So if you have a problem with the guy over there who is screwing everybody over, what are you going to do about it? If you have a problem with, say, some entity called a corporation called the United States of America, what are you going to do about it? If you have a problem with this, what do you have a problem with that? What are you going to do about it? That's what God's telling Habakkuk, and he doesn't get it. He's never going to get it. It's in the Bible for a reason, though. Verse 17, shall they therefore empty their net and not spare continually to slay the nations? This is like a parallel to Nestle or Disney or some of these big corporations that basically rape the world. And they rape the world, and the people who are in charge of making rules and laws and stuff like that are just paid off. And Habakkuk's like, wait, you're not going to do anything about that? You know why God's not doing anything about that is because people chose it. People chose it. And if no one throws a fuss, then that's how it is. That's how it is. Okay. I'll be looking at chat here in a minute. I want to go into verse 2 or chapter 2 about how Habakkuk actually takes it. He's basically writing down things about how he's pissed at God. And he knows he's talking to God as he writes them. That's why it's in the Bible. Verse 2, he doesn't know why. He was never given an answer by God. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. He's waiting for God's answer. He knows all this shit's going on. He didn't lose his faith. He didn't do anything. He's like, the hell? And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain on the tables, that he may run and readeth it. Who may run and readeth it? Me. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Because it will surely come, it will not tarry. This is a somewhat of a contradiction in the Bible. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. The explanation for that is there is a deal here with the period, semicolon, whatever, and that you're waiting for it, and then when it happens, it's not gonna, like the floodgates are open. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but just shall live by his faith. Which is why the entire video is being made. The entire video is basically about how you live by faith. And if you, it says the just by live by faith, meaning that, like, well, if you have to be just first, then you can live by faith. And it's like, no, your faith is your justification. It's your faith. It's your faith. There isn't anything you can do. You're going to beat Jesus? What are you going to do? Go in an MMA ring? Go beat up Jesus and say, I got my salvation now. I beat up God. Come on. The only thing you can do is be justified by faith. I think that was pretty much the crux of the whole thing there. So I'll take a look at chat and do some interaction discussions, people who want to, talk to me or whatever. Let's see what's going on. Book of Relief. Holy crap, man. I'm glad to see you're still around. You're eating red meat now. That's great. That's all I eat now is meat and protein. On my list of things to do is just eat eggs every day. I have to build up like another 20 pounds or something like that. You have to paraphrase. Yeah, well, it's kind of like being a translator with paraphrasing the King James. It's like, that's not what the words say. Max is a liar. And it's like, well, no, I'm not a liar. I'm just reading it the way that it's interpreted and the way that you should read it. And if I'm wrong, I could be, but I'm reading it to make it easier on the ear. And I can translate the these, thous, whatever into who God is speaking to. And yeah, whatever. Was there a single prophet of God that did not suffer, have tribulation? Well, everybody has tribulation. There's not even, you don't have to say a prophet, every single one. What I think is the most amazing about the Bible is that people are shown to be the biggest dumbasses on the planet. All throughout the history of the Bible is like people are freaking stupid. And that's how people are. And when you come to that understanding is like you're kind of just bumping around with each other, and that's the whole point, is that you have to kind of grow. You have to kind of do better things. But it's always been the same all throughout time. Always been the same. It's always been Satan runs everything. Satan runs all the money, period. It's been that way for thousands of years. Okay? Just going to be that way. So, what are you going to do in this world? you can make a better life for yourself, sure, and that's a great thing because it frees you up to go do other things. But you don't park your bed in this world. It's yeah. You have teachers that own leader jets. You know, well, they're probably commie, New World Order, IMF, whatever. As far as I understand, Nick, that your entire country has been taken over. That kind of sucks. I mean, America has been taken over too. At least we have guns. That's all I can say about that. And I wouldn't rest. A lot of people will rest on their guns and say, "Well, no one's going to take nothing from me." But it's not about your guns. It's like if you're going to fight, you're going to fight fisticuffs, or you're going to have a knife. And if you're not willing to do that, then you may as well sell your guns and put your mask on and go to bed. Let the king screw your wife because it's a king, right? And then you can excuse it because whatever the king says, God says the king is the correct, is appointed, and you can make all sorts of excuses. But the reality of the situation is you control your own life. And you have to deal with the situation that comes before you. And how you deal with it, are you going to deal with it in a godly way, or are you going to deal with it in a bullshit way? I don't remember where I left out, but there's only like one more chapter to Habakkuk. All right. I remember the I stand on my watch. And here's the thing, I've been big on this. I see, this is why I'm leaving YouTube and a lot of other things is because I don't like my current situation and where I'm at. My mother is also, we have to pull her off life support today. There's a lot of things going on, and I can't put myself out there as much because I have to fight other battles. Okay. I have to fight other battles. My energy has to go elsewhere. So I can't do it. Um, it's just how it is. I love doing these things. I love talking to you people. I love studying the Bible but it's really, you guys don't understand the freaking amount of the amount of government control and things like that. And it's rolling into it right now. I've been talking about it for 3 years. And right now is the time. Get your shit together. I've been talking about building friendships, building communities, building things because pretty soon you probably won't have anything. And anything you think you have, the government can take away. I own a house. Guess what? The government can take it away. I don't have a mortgage. I own it flat out. The government can take it away. They can decide that they're going to widen the road, or they can tax me 100 times what my house is worth, and they can take it. I don't own it. I own my Bitcoin though. But that's dealing with the world. Why isn't God helping me? Well, do you worship God and pray, and do you have faith? God will help you. I'm one of those prideful people who thinks that I did a lot of things myself, right? And I didn't. It was God who gave me the skills to be able to do what I do. Made me an individual, a free thinker. And I chose the good path. And a lot of other people chose the other path. And some people would say that I chose the evil path. They're just putting it out there. A lot of people that don't like me, with good reason. I'm not saying that their reasons are bad. I'm probably kind of a dickhead. Actually, I'll guarantee you I'm a dickhead. Oh, shit. The handler's here. Now I have to keep my mouth shut. I can't reveal any secrets anymore. All right. Well, we're going to continue on because the last part of this book I don't understand yet. So if anybody has any insight, you could give me insight. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. Okay. I think that we're in the appointed time. We can have a discussion about that, but I think that this is it. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when it comes, my translation, it looks to me like this is a contradiction in the Bible. But the way that I look at it is that when it comes, it ain't going to be a like long gradual thing. When it comes, and that's the way to look at it. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. But the just shall live by his faith. We talked about this. The just shall live by his faith. And whether or not, do you have to be just before you have faith? Is that the way it is? No. The way the wording is that the people who have faith are already just describing the just people. They live by faith. And it's a very hard, complicated English, wording thing to try to describe to people. But that's what it means. It means that the people who are already in faith are just. Verse 5, yea, also, because he has transgressed by wine. He is a proud man. Either keepeth at home to enlarge his desire, and as in hell and as in death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him in all nations, and he heapeth under him all people. Shall not these take up parable against him? No. And taunting proverb against him, say, woe to him that increase that which is not his. How long? This is what we're talking about right here, is the Federal Reserve. We're talking about governments right here. This is exactly it. This is exactly it. And Habakkuk is pissed at God. Okay? He's pissed. Shall they not rise up suddenly, that they shall bite thee, and wake up, they shall vex thee, and thou shalt be their booties unto them? He's a guy who's sitting there going, Lord, you're the king. Why aren't you dealing with this? They're pissing on your shoes, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they hate you and all this stuff. Have you looked at social media lately? Have you looked at YouTube? Have you looked at PayPal, who wants to charge you $2,500? I'm probably going to get $2,500 fine now because I'm speaking out, right? From PayPal. And Habakkuk's pissed. Dude's pissed. Because you have spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil you because of the men's blood, and for violence of the land and the city and all that dwell within. Woe to him that coveteth an evil, covetous covetousness to his house. Woe to him. Now this is speaking by Habakkuk, not by God. Habakkuk's pissed that he may nest high, that he may delivered from power of evil. It's like if one of my rants was written down in the Bible, it'd be Habakkuk, as in it's the Max Bauer chapter where I just bitch about stuff. And that's what Habakkuk is doing. Okay. You have consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against my soul. Okay, that's his opinion. This is a guy crying out because he's hurt. For the stone shall cry out the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Behold, and a city by iniquity being the fag town that was burned to the ground. Behold, it is not the Lord of hosts, the people shall labor in the very fire, and people shall weary themselves for very vanity. Okay. This is the most prophetic book that I've, passed over. I've read it 30 times, but I passed over it because I didn't really consider it to be prophetic. But this is the most prophetic, more than Daniel. This is exactly what's going on right now, guys. People shall labor in the very fire. People are killing themselves. Labor in the fire. People are killing themselves for nothing. There is no gain. There is no purpose to your life. Nothing. People shall weary themselves for very vanity, where the only thing that really matters is how many TikTok subscribers you have. Whatever it may happen to be. Kim Kardashian, can she build a fence? Can she answer her own email, or does she have a servant for that? I mean, it's the way that it is. Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, that puttest thy bottle to him, and maketh him drunken too, that thou mayest look on their nakedness. Thou art filled with shame and glory, drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered, the cup the Lord's right, and shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing to all the glory. For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and spoil the beast which made them afraid, because of men's blood, and the violence of the land of the city that dwell wherein. What profiteth the graven image, that the maker thereof hath graven it, the molten image, and the teacher of lies, and the maker of his work, and the trusteth therein, to make dumb idols? Woe unto him that said the wood, awake, to dumb stone, arise, and shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath of all in the midst of it. But the Lord is in his holy temple. Let all the earth keep silence before him. This is a freaking huge bitch rant, dude. The entire book of Habakkuk is a huge bitch rant, and this is how I am. This is literally me. Okay? And the Lord let it in his book because it needs to be said. And it's like, why is it being said? It's because you have to find a purpose behind it. It's like, you have your choice. You could change the world, but you're choosing not to. You could get up off the couch, but you're choosing not to, and yet you're mad at me, who created everything. died on the sins for the cross to make sure that you never have any consequences at all for anything you do in your life. That's what it comes down to, is you don't have any consequences. God might come down on you if you mess up or something like that, but the reality of the situation is you have eternal life. Who cares? So that was the book of Habakkuk. I don't know. That's what we got. We got the handler here. We got Nick here. I don't know how many others are here. I do want to put a link in for the reason that I am talking about this is Jesse Schumacher. And I'm going to, talk about it. Sent me an email and was upset that I wasn't going to be doing anything anymore and wanted me to go comment on some of his stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to his webpage there. He's a blogger, and it's very insightful stuff. I'm not going to give it a carte blanche that I agree with everything. I'm just going to say that it's very well thought out. When you write something down, it's generally very well thought out, and people won't put things in writing unless they mean them. And yeah, it's all good there. It's all good. So we'll open it up for discussion. And they only got like 6 people or something on here. Anyone else ask me anything or whatever. No, Max is not coming back. I'm retired. I will be coming, a new entity, or I don't know what I'm going to be doing, but it's not going to be on YouTube. It's really honestly too dangerous to dick around with that. And I'm a fighter, but I can't necessarily fight the government. I mean, I can't necessarily fight these people. So whatever. Still going to do my thing. And of course, there's the whole, God will protect me and all that stuff. And I get that. But I'm in the Habakkuk. I'm in the Habakkuk mood where like everything is screwed up and why aren't you doing something? That's just the way I am. I said that my last stream was going to be my last stream, and here I am. Here we go. So you never know. I mean, I'm a person, fallible. I say what I mean at the time, but that's how it is. How it is. Boom. I refreshed the wrong screen. This is the one I meant to refresh. There we go. Well, I'm glad that my microphone is working. Good night, Jack. Kimmy is a lawyer. Jimmy needs to appoint a 2IC for Max handler job. Yeah. I need like 2 or 3 handlers. I'm pretty hard to control. Odyssey is problematic. Really? Well, it probably doesn't matter because I've been online for 10 years. That I'm sure my profile and everything is already it doesn't really matter. I'm sure it's not like I can drop off the face of the earth. I mean, they can track me anywhere. I don't know. I just would prefer not to support a network that, shuts people down for telling the truth. That's just what I would prefer. But this is the world, right? And we take our we put the jabs out where we can, and that's all I can really think. I'm used to YouTube. I mean, 10 years is a long time. Odyssey takes forever to load. All right, well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm up. The only reason that I'm online now and actually doing a video and not retired is because I'm off of work from my mom dying. So, Nick, am I on Telegram? I have the application, but I don't really care about it. And this is going to be one live stream that I won't take down. Okay, so this one will persist. We're talking about Habakkuk. Habakkuk. And we'll figure out what we're going to do in the future. And, God bless y'all who get some enjoyment out of listening to my idiot ass sit here and talk about the Bible. I don't take it lightly. I really believe that I have insight a little bit, or at least an opinion, and you can agree, disagree, or whatever. I think it's important. The Bible is the rock that we all stand on. Who is Jesus Christ? He's the Word. Jesus Christ is the Word. It's the rock we stand on. It's Jesus Christ. That's what I have with that. And I think we're going to be out of here if we don't have anything else. Thank you, Nick. I always know that you're going to be here when I show up at 3 o'clock in the morning. My hair all frazzled. I just got off work. All right. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Discovery of Habakkuk. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, blah, 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 you can always reach me at maxbauerproductions@gmail.com. Regardless if I post a video or not, you can always post comments, but just shoot me an email and everything will be fine. All right, guys. With that, we're going to be out of here. It's late.